staff have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
TSN 1050 Toronto is celebrating its 10-year anniversary today.
How about that?
They're the home of the Argos. But you wouldn't know it. Austin Matthews, Kyle Lowry, Vladdy, some soccer player I've never seen or heard of. And then Tom Brady, Tampa Tom. What the hell? Come on, TSN 1050 Toronto. What does this say?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
So,
welcome.
In all fairness,
yeah,
they did that, and for 3 weeks around Christmas time, I had a Tom Brady book and shirts sitting out here every day.
Yeah, you're not the voice of the Argos.
But that's right.
Welcome, Canada, to Canada's daytime sports talk show. It's the RP Show. We're digital only today because we are preempted on Game Plus television. So thanks for checking us out over here, YouTube, Facebook, or listen live at rodpedersen.com. And also, we've had some juggling here with our guests today, so I appreciate a good pal of mine jumping on, Sammy Cosentino, because Joey Alfieri from TSN Montreal had something came up with him. He was going to be with us here in hour one, so Sammy's going to join us. You're going to notice a lot of junior hockey theme here. A Memorial Cup canceled yesterday, an OHL prospects tournament being planned, it sounds like. We'll see what Sammy knows about that. And Kirk Muyres will be joining us from the Calgary bubble in advance of the Grand Slam, which is about to open up this week. So there's that and a lot of other things. Are you ready to go, Dupes?
I'm ready.
Okay, thanks everybody for chiming in. I will get to your comments in a moment. And thank you to Game Plus, by the way, for tweeting, catch the Rod Pedersen Show on the streams. That's a partner, eh?
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
How about that?
So I said
that?
it. There you go. Thanks, Rick Regan. And I say Canada's daytime sports talk show, but I say thank you to our American friends for tuning in. Director Jordan, can we please hit the quick six? Thank you. I'm writing things like so much is going on today. Number one, Tuesday NHL Leftovers. Dupes and I were calling a hockey game last night. It didn't face off until 8 p.m. Mountain, so I guess you got to see quite a bit of your Leafs.
That's right.
So David Riddick loses his Leafs debut against his old team, the Calgary Flames. Couple thoughts on that. Could they not have found him blue gloves and pads? I know. I was a goalie, so he wanted to wear his gear, but it looked a little junior B-ish to see David Riddick wearing Flames gear with Leafs equipment. Was Sport Check not open?
I know, right? Get me some. At least paint them.
There's a Sport Check across the street from the rink.
At least put some spray paint on them or tape them or something.
It didn't look good?
No, it didn't.
And then I found out from a hockey guy yesterday, and maybe this was widely reported, I don't know. Riddick flew on the Flames jet to Toronto. Was that reported?
Yeah, with the team.
Okay, yeah, I was not aware if that was reported or not. That's a good story. The Bruins beat the Sabres in Taylor Hall's debut. He didn't have any points, but I think he had 3 shots on net, and He looked pretty good from the little bits that I saw of that game. And I want to say this. Tanner Jeannot, what do you know? Scored his first NHL goal with the Nashville Predators, the pride of Oxbow, Saskatchewan, and the former Moose Jaw Warrior. So it was a pretty good night all in all, NHL-wise.
No kid.
Except for the Leafs and David Riddick.
That's right. But, I mean, overtime, whatever.
You get a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. Point 2, will the CFL play? Boy, this is interesting because you're having your talks with your people. I'm having talks with my people. You see what's being reported out there. The vaccination thing's ramped up. Like I was told today that I was eligible to go, but I'm not hanging off Dr. Shahab's word. Like, I'll get there when I get there. I had stuff to do today. I'm not anti-vaccine, but I'll go when it fits into my schedule. Is there something wrong with that?
I don't think so.
I think you said you'd go when you're up in the queue, right? I'm not fighting it, but
I'm not gonna be elbowing my way to the front of the line.
No, like some
right?
are.
I'll let those who really need it, the vulnerable. Not that I don't need it, but no, I'll go when I'm eligible. Absolutely.
So it's a up and down. I think your best bet is to just turn your social media off.
Yeah.
Because you see some people say it's going to happen for sure. Then you see others saying, well, this is what's going on in the States. And then they're saying even if you're vaccinated, you still got to social distance and wear masks. There's no way there's going to be a season. It's just, right? And I feel so horribly for the people that are, involved, right? It affects their life, i.e. CFL players, coaches, staff, obviously the media. My bet on a season would be 50-50. Those that are in the know, that know more than me, but have an objective opinion on it, like no horse in the race, are saying 60-40 to the no. Yesterday we debated would Ottawa give them money, and we said 50-50 there. I will say, will there be a CFL season in 2021? 50-50 as well. And again, to those in the know, say 60-40. But I had a guy in the league say to me yesterday, Rod, if we're hurtling towards a merger here, why would they not just turn out the lights on 2021 and get ready for next year and promote that? And I said, well, I don't know what's happening in the top levels of the Canadian Football League. I hear things. Gosh knows there's a lot of people that have been let go by the Canadian Football League that they still know what's going on. Right, in layoffs and stuff from the teams. You think people don't talk? That's the one thing I don't understand. Do the leaders think that we're not talking? I think if you've never been on the front lines with sports, pro sports, and the media, if you've just kind of been parachuted into your position, you don't realize at the top, and you don't realize what goes on in the front lines, you wouldn't know what goes on the front lines. Isn't that fair?
That's fair.
I don't think they have any idea that we all talk to each other.
I know. It's just human nature.
Yes.
Right? It's just human nature. But it's so tough. Like, we're talking to players across the league, too, that are coming to us wondering, when are we going to play? What's going to happen? Right? And they're concerned, too. And they know that the season's not going to start on time because we've heard that American players need, likely 6 to 8 weeks from an announcement to be ready to go for the start of camp. They got to get into the country. They got to get their family situation taken care of, their housing, all of that kind of stuff. They need 6 to 8 weeks before camp starts. So we know we're past that and they're not starting on time. But yet the players are still in limbo because there's still a chance that their phone might ring and say, we need you to report for camp next week. And so they're full of anxiety because how do they know what's coming, or how can they make decisions about getting a job or things with family, or, God forbid, their significant other's pregnant and going to deliver a child, or who knows what's going on that they have to deal with. And yet they're sitting there being like, I can't make any decisions because my phone might ring and they haven't canceled the season or they haven't suspended play yet. So it's tough, and it feels like nobody cares about the players.
God bless you for commenting, everybody, but this is not the comment time. I can't get to your comments. This is the Quick Six show topics here for the Four Seasons Sports Palace in what we call the warm-up. Dine in is not an option at the Four Seasons. Order a pizza. They've got their liquor store, beer store, delivery as well. Four Seasons, check it out. Moving on to point 3, the Regina Pats now 0-2 without Connor Bedard. I mentioned that the Pats Lost last night to the Prince Albert Raiders 4-2, a night after losing to the Winnipeg Ice 3-1, so they're 0-2 without their rookie sensation, Connor Bedard. You see, I brought it today for the Winnipeg people. That is the Winnipeg Ice lid. How nice is that?
Beautiful.
That's the one that I got caught wearing while having an outdoor bench coffee Saturday by the president of the Pats. He just happened to drive by, and he didn't say anything about me wearing a Winnipeg Ice hat, so that's good. But I just love that lid. I love that logo. I love their colors. I love me some Winnipeg Ice, which last night, by the way, for those that were in the bubble, the Dub Hub, we've mentioned how it's that awkward if you run into somebody or,
Everybody wants to shake hands, but then they do the awkward. Do we fist bump? Do we not? Right. Elbows?
So if you saw me celebrating on the concourse last night, prior to the game, here's why. There was a Western Hockey League general manager who came up to me, and we were kind of this far, and his thing was, "Are you back?" I said, "I'm back." He's like, "What does that mean?" And I said, "I'm going to be the TV voice of the Regina Pats, potentially till the end of time, probably about 27 games a year, 24 at home-ish, and selected road games, no bus." And he's like, "Ah," and I'm doing, "Ah, back in the Dub. Time to celebrate." And here's the great thing about major junior hockey. It's high enough level hockey that the franchises are worth at least now $10 million-ish. Rumored Wheat Kings went for $8 million. Compare that to the Montreal Alouettes, who the new owners got for nothing, zero. Like the football guys' minds are blown at what these WHL franchises are worth. It's high enough hockey that you're eating steak and you're going to the NHL draft and you're in these fabulous facilities, but it's low enough level hockey that you can walk down the street and not have everybody tugging at you to ask you about the latest thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just realized when I went up to Emma Lake a couple years ago, after I left the Rider thing, it's like, you want to be able to visit the Mansons and the Tippetts and the Simpsons at the lake in the summertime, because that's where the hockey people are in Lake Country. But just with the Riders, it's just when you're walking down the beach, everybody's running out of their cabin. Hey, who's starting this week? Hey, what's happening with Charleston Hughes? And it just, that gets to be a little much. See what I mean? Like, it's so high level, it gets exhausting after a while. Major, junior, you get to do all those great things, but you're just in this little subculture over here that not everybody cares about, but it's a wonderful subculture. And that's your boys.
Yeah.
So hence was the general manager giving a, "Hey, you're back." Very happy. 4 to the Blue Jays. Somebody was writing in about the Blue Jays earlier. They won yesterday 7-3 against the New York Yankees in Dunedin. George Springer took batting practice, but there's still no timeline on his return. I'm sure Clark's watching this very closely. Everything looks great about the Blue Jays. Their unis, their offense, their pitching for the most part. So I click open the score app this morning, and I see Blue Jays 5th in the American League East. I'm like, what the hell? They're winning. I'm like, wait a minute. They're in a 4-way tie for second place at 5 and 6. So I'm just thinking with Springer, I know enough about baseball and certainly played it enough to realize a guy like George Springer could affect a couple of wins probably had he played. I'm not saying he's soft or he should be playing, but they're going off on a 9-game road trip after today, and he's not going. So I'm just saying with Springer, they could very easily be in first place. Am I right?
And it's so disappointing because he's the prize free agent, and it's just like, you mean I can buy the toy, but I can't play with the toy? So why did I buy the toy? Mm-hmm. But you just hope he's back soon. I really do.
Okay, I'll chime in with a couple of...
Monty, the Blades and Pats is tomorrow night.
Yes, 4 p.m. tomorrow. From Mick Pankow, my good man Mick Pankow, who is the chaplain for the U of R Rams, by the way, football program. Rod, I'm excited for you. Your excitement in it is awesome. Thank you. It's genuine, believe me, to be back. From T-Bone Stuff on YouTube says, "Hey, Roddy, keep on doing an amazing show." That's the plan. Day by day. Jeff in Winnipeg says, "Rod, let's see the DuPont brand. Why don't you have it out here? You got it in your...
it's in the office.
It's in your office.
I can bring it out.
That sucker is heavy.
Oh, yeah. Maybe we'll just
like
leave it
really, you should leave it out here.
Okay.
But where are we going to light the fire to heat up the brand? That's
I know.
What I want to know.
That needs to happen, yes.
0.5 on the MLSE thing. I would waver a little bit on my report on the MLSE CFL thing if it wasn't for who's giving me the information, by the way. I don't know how many times I need to tell you this. In no way, shape, or form am I ever going to hint who it is, but these are guys that, frankly, didn't have my number. They got it from, it wasn't in my phone. Big shots. Okay? So a lot of the people that are denying my report or completely ignoring my report are those that are directly affected by MLSE. Like, come on. So, anyways, I see people were writing in saying, boycott MLSE, boycott it. You're not going to boycott MLS. You're not going to. You can try it. How did that gas boycott work out 7-8 years ago?
Here's how.
Nobody buy gas on this day.
Yeah.
And then you see 8 cars lined up.
Or nobody go to that gas station. And here's the thing about boycotts. They don't really work. I mean, they work.
No, they don't
They work. They can work. But at the end of the day, we are, I don't want to say lazy is not the right word, but we're creatures of convenience.
Yeah.
So I can say, look, I don't like that gas station. I agree with you.
It works till you need gas.
But it's closest, so I'm going, right? But if there was another one right next door, yeah, I might choose the other one because I believe in what you want me to boycott. But if it's the only one in my neighborhood, I'm not going to the other side of town just to go along with the boycott. People aren't going to go out of their way.
Yeah.
So,
Connor Anderson's watching young. Is he 16 yet? He's in York, and he says, it sucks I can't watch the Pats games, but I sure do love watching the clips on the Access Now page on Twitter. Rod, the way you call the games is amazing. Thank you, Connor. I was put on this earth to call hockey games and some football games and help people. Everything's coming together. What did the guy say on the weekend? Wrote into the website. He says, the universe corrects itself.
that's right.
I believe that has happened. The universe has corrected itself as far as it relates to my life. And point 6, NFL players want to boycott OTAs. I don't know if you saw that. That was a fairly late-breaking story.
I did.
You did? You see that? A lot of boycotts going on.
Denver Broncos.
Do you think they can pull it off?
Well, of course. You know, the players in pro sports have more power in that sense than ever. I mean, except in the CFL, it feels like, right? They have more power. So if the players aren't going to show up to camp, what are you going to do? I don't think the league's going to suspend them, an entire team. So if they're united and they don't think it's safe and they're recommended not to go to OTAs, they won't go.
They can do it with, they didn't have them last year. They didn't have a training camp, and they got the whole season.
Well, look at, Brady had those private workouts in the park, and they'll find another way.
They won a Super Bowl
to get them there.
The warm-up is brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Order a fabulous Four Seasons pizza and your favorite beverage for takeout and delivery. One-stop shopping. Call or order online. Sammy Cosentino joins us next. We're just getting rolling here on the RP Show. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues after this. Game Plus Television, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Just before we bring in our good friend Sam Cosentino, some viewer comments here today. As I said, we're preempted on Game Plus television due to the Blast Premier Esports tournament for the rest of the week. Michael Wynn writing in on Twitter, he says, definitely watching on Facebook's easier to watch at work than TV. Keep up the great work. See, it works. We're talking about a boycott of MLSE. I'm not saying it. Some are, because of what they're doing to the Canadian Football League. And we said gas boycotts never work. Darren said that people won't drive across town. Our man Chop Bresh, the head of the Rams alumni, says, Dupes, lies. People won't travel for a boycott. As a former produce manager, you have no idea how many times I heard my apples were 5 cents a pound more than the co-op. So people will drive to get the deal.
Fair.
He missed it, though. All right.
Yes.
Let's bring in Sammy now. See all these topics on the table here for our good friend Sam Cosentino from Rogers Sportsnet. He's right in his home studio there. How you doing, Sammy?
Roddy, I'm doing good. I'm jealous. You're down pounds. You got the pink drink going on. You got the original 16 Ultra. I like that. I see all this stuff on the front of the desk there. I mean, you got it going on, man. I admit I'm a little jealous. We got to start working together again.
I agree. Oh, anytime. I'm up for it. Let's go. By the way, Winnipeg Ice dropped this off on the press box of the day. I love their gear. What lid are you rocking? What are you rocking today?
Well, it's funny you saw that, and I got to talk. I got to make a call out to the Winnipeg people, you know. But also jealous for the fact that you had 16, 18 games of Connor Bedard, and you got to watch that show live and in person, while I got to sit back and watch it on video. But I got this. This is one of the Blue Jays caps, one of the iterations of a Blue Jays cap. Long history with the club, as you know, and so just trying to throw a little support out there. Big win for Hyunjin Ryu yesterday.
Oh, big time. By the way, he's a baseball guy. You know that, but I wonder how many Canadians actually do. And we're going to come around on the Blue Jays on the end of this. But I will say this, Sammy, out here in the West, people are saying, Sammy's the only guy down east talking about Connor Bedard. Sammy's the only guy. He's been, so people are noticing what you're doing in Western Canada, Sam, and pumping up the kid's tires. Not that, as we found out, he needs any pumping, but oh my God, what a player.
Yeah, Well, I was really lucky, thanks in large part to John Paddock, Dave Struch, Taylor Roca, and Ron Robinson over at the Western Hockey League for, giving me that access really early on when Connor was drafted the day before there to kind of kick that off and kick that relationship off in good standing. I've talked to him a couple of times since, and obviously, been watching from afar what he's been able to do. I'm really fascinated, Roddy, by, what's going to happen at the under 18s. And it's funny, the guy up the road, Alan Miller, who worked for Moose Jaw for such a long time, who's now moved on to Hockey Canada. And I had some preliminary conversations with him before they selected the team. And I said, is there anything off the table here? And he said, no, we're looking at everyone. And our responsibility here is to look at the best players available outside of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, because they're going to stay at home and play for their league championship, which I think is the right thing to do. But we're not looking at age or anything else. We're looking at putting the best team on the table for Canada as possible, and obviously has included Connor Bedard and another exceptional player in Shane Wright. So really looking forward to watching what those two guys are able to bring at the under-18s.
Absolutely, no doubt. The Moose Jaw Warriors, Denton Matejchuk, added to the roster just late last week, so that's coming up right away. Listen, I can't get you out of here without asking you this. People laughed at me. Even Alan Miller chuckled at me across his desk when I said, would you invite Connor to the World Junior Camp last year? Alan's like, no. Sam, 28 points in 16 games, led the dub in scoring before he left. Can you please tell me that he could have played in last year's tournament? They're saying he'd probably get an invite next year, but I mean, I don't know. I know the level's higher. You and I did it together, but I don't think he'd have been out of place. Yeah. I swear to God.
That would have been tough. I mean, so young. And so physically immature. I think what's really helped him, Roddy, there's a couple of things, and I don't want to take anything away from what he's done, obviously, but you're not looking at the rigors of the travel. You're looking at pretty much playing the same teams. You're in that bubble situation, so you're able to sleep in your own wrapper every night, and then you're looking at a situation where the lead up time for him to start his season was better. Not say better, but longer than any of the other exceptional players before him. So all of those things have combined for a guy who's taken advantage of all those opportunities and made the best of himself. So I don't want to mitigate what he's done, but I do also want to say that when we're trying to compare what's happening now or what has happened to this point for Regina, now that he's gone at the other 18s, that it might have translated to what happened in December and going through the camp. The one thing that we have to remember, Roddy, and even going back to that camp, there were a lot of players that were really rattled by the quarantine situation that happened on a couple of occasions, not just to get there, but once they got there and they had that mini breakout. So I don't know if I would have wanted to subject, a 15-year-old kid to that. Having said that, I think he's a lock to be invited to this year's summer camp, be it virtual or be it in person. And, whether he makes the team, he'll be the guy who decides that based on his play alone. So I think last year might have been a little bit too aggressive considering all the circumstances surrounding it. But I do think this year is a very likely possibility.
And Hockey Canada does it right. I understand that. Everything happens for a reason, but this is how much I think of the player. And by the way, they think very highly of him too. But anyways, moving on. I couldn't believe the breaking news yesterday when the CHL canceled the Memorial Cup. Ding, 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 notifications going off. And I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? What's your take on the announcement?
Well, that's just it. And, everyone's, why so long? Why did they wait? June 17th was essentially the start date. And now here we are looking at April 14th, and the Ontario Hockey League has yet to start. And with what's going on here in Ontario, a start date may very well be in peril, period. So when you look at, the Memorial Cup, there's 100 different ways to look at it and why it wouldn't work this year. First of all, host site was never selected. It was down to Sault Ste. Marie or Oshawa. They never got to the point where selecting a city would work. Then you're looking at no fans. You're looking at a business plan that would be, somewhat in place based on the fact that those two teams knew that those cities knew that they were the finalists, but having no fans. So from a business perspective, it wasn't going to ever work out. And then you look at the fact that teams that would have to travel to one of those cities and the quarantine issues that go along with that. That's the next thing. And maybe most importantly, you're looking at what's happening in Ontario. If they do get off and get to a start, it's going to be a 16 or 20 game season. So in my opinion, you can't really crown a league champion based on that, even if you included some playoffs afterwards. And then I think you're talking about, what the cup and what it's all about. now we're missing the point altogether. So we're going to bring a team that's 24-game regular season in the dub plus playoffs, a team that's 16 to 20 games in the OHL plus playoffs, and then you're going to bring a team that's played 50 games plus playoffs in the Q altogether, plus the host team, which is also from Ontario. So I think the integrity of the Cup at that point is also something that strongly must be considered. We were over there in 2018. I think everyone got a real good sense of what it's all about, the integrity of the Cup, why it's named the Memorial Cup, and I think the integrity of that definitely would have been at stake if you had to try to jam in a championship this year.
I know. Well, call me crazy, but I believe it's hallowed in the conversation as the Stanley Cup and Grey Cup. It absolutely is. So, so thanks for pointing that out. And the other thing is the teams can't travel out of province now anyways, and there's no sign that that's changing anytime soon. Now, Drager was on here last week and talked about the rumor of an OHL prospects tournament here this spring to get ready for the draft. Do you know anything about this?
Yeah, well, I think it might be a little bit, what I've heard is a little bit different than what Drake's had. I do believe that there's going to be a tournament, a prospect showcase, if you will, that will involve players from each of the three leagues. It looks like something that's planned probably for late June or maybe even early July. With the idea of getting the best draft eligible players an opportunity to be seen for a couple of days in front of scouts. So, you have the under 18s, which is obviously going to be a great showcase. It's a longer format than that, 6 to 8 games, depending on how far you go there. And that's really important for the elite of the elite, who are 2003 born. Now, when you roll back the tape a little bit, we must forget that there's also the late 2002s, meaning those born September 15th and after in 2002 that are also eligible for this draft, but not eligible to play in the under 18. So it gives those players an opportunity to be seen in front of scouts, especially those in Ontario who have yet to have had that opportunity, other than the select few that were able to go and play a little bit over in Europe. So that's what I'm hearing. There's nothing official, announced to that. And again, it's probably similar along the same lines of what Dregs is hearing. And who knows, maybe an all Ontario thing might be something that would work as well. That would go before, all three leagues coming together for some sort of showcase event.
Well, it's exciting to follow for sure. I want to point out Ottawa punter Richie Leone writing in, former Arizona Cardinal. Richie, hang on. Next segment, we'll talk CFL for you, because with Sammy, I got to ask him. Look at those teeth, everybody. Look at those, the whitest teeth right there in show business. I will acknowledge your interview with Cole Sillinger. I really enjoyed that. That was awesome. But I want to move to Blue Jays in the time that we have left. 4-way tie for second place, Sammy, 5 and 6. Should I be disappointed that George Springer isn't close to getting on the field, I guess? Could he have made a difference here and have the Jays in first place right now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he was that type of guy. The contract says that he should be that type of guy. His experience, as a World Series champion, say that he should be that guy. And there's no doubt that there's a lot of good years left in what Springer has to bring to the table. But the problem is when you have those issues, and I've seen it in baseball before, the rigors of the season and the travel can really, exponentially increase those injuries and force you out for a longer period of time. So you're best off using the roster you have. Maybe testing out a few guys in different positions, either in the batting lineup or out in the field, that you might want to consider using down the road for depth or when it comes to trade deadline time. And then just allow Springer to heal up to the point where he's close to 100%, so that when he does get back in the lineup, you don't have to worry about the fits and spurts and him coming in and him coming out, which can, especially in a season like this, can be a lot more disruptive. So I like the slow play that they're taking. The Toronto Blue Jays have had a lot of injury issues the last few years, despite putting a lot of money and a lot of resources into their high performance end in what they're doing. So I think with this one, they really need to take their time.
Are we, because yours started with the Blue Jays, early 90s? What was your first year around the clubhouse?
1987.
Okay, so you can reference this then. Because the reason I asked, we had the voice of the Dallas Cowboys on a couple months ago, and he's been the voice for, 43 years. And we said, there's 3 eras with the Cowboys, the triplets, Staubach, right? And now, this era.
Dorsett,
Yeah. With you, there's eras with the Blue Jays. And I feel like we're in a new era with Vladdy, Cavan, the crew. Bo, obviously. How excited are you for this club? And does it remind you of any past? Or am I getting ahead of myself?
No, well, it's taken a little while. There's no doubt to get to this point, and some of what's been left over from Alex Anthopoulos, and then Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins kind of doing their thing to solidify the lineup. A couple of really key moves that I think otherwise might not have been able to happen if we weren't in this pandemic situation. I think the signing of Marcus Semien on a 1-year deal is absolutely brilliant business, both for player and for team. He's a guy that maybe in normal circumstances might have been able to generate a much longer-term contract with more average annual salary in it. Getting Springer and locking up for the long-term, really, really good piece of business there. Ryu, same sort of thing. But ultimately, Rod, it comes down to what is your pitching going to do? Are you going to be able to bring out those fireballers at the end of games or from the 6th inning on that can eliminate the lineups? Are you going to be able to maintain health with your pitching staff, which has been a challenge? But when I look back and think about, all right, I look at that 85 team with George Bell on his knees and a couple of guys that were from that Rule 5 draft. The 89 team was really, really good, and they were young. I was on a couple of weeks ago with the likes of Sean Green, Carlos Delgado, Pat Henkin, and talking to those guys a little bit about the team we had in 99, and that was a really, really good team that was probably underrated. And you look at the staff and Carpenter and Halliday and, a lot of really good pitchers were with the Blue Jays at that time. So does it remind me of one particular era that I worked with? I think that 99 team was a little bit older, but if you go back to the mid-'80s team, you're seeing guys like Fernandez and George Bell and Gruber and Manny Lee and those types of players where you had a little bit of the mix of the youth, but you had a lot of excitement based on some of the guys that were picked up in the Rule 5 and so on. So maybe a little bit more reminiscent of those teams that played at Old Exhibition Stadium, which I'm sure back in the days of the CFL, you probably visited a few times.
Wow, well, I'm not quite that old, and our viewers have chimed in and said Sammy started with the Blue Jays when he was 12. That's what people are saying. All right. There's your laugh for the day, Sammy. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for this has been a great visit. Stay safe.
All right, Double D. Roddy, thanks, guys. Take care.
Sam Cosentino from Rogers Sportsnet joining us from the Big Smoke. He's got the branding iron out just before we go to break. Do you want to show it?
Yeah.
Put it right in the camera.
Maybe Sammy's still on. You can see it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Viewers are volunteering to be branded.
Yeah.
And we're making it happen.
If you've watched Yellowstone, Sammy.
We'll talk about that and more when we come back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 Ford F-150, Ranger, Escape, and more. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital Ford Lincoln is Truck Nation, 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Just ahead of a sports update and answering some of the questions from our viewers, which includes the great Richie Leone, who's tuned in. Tim Lawson's watching on Facebook. He says, why are you not on Game Show Plus TV? Because they have preempted us due to an esports game. And everybody has a daddy. Anthem Sports is ours.
Yes.
Correct? So they decide whether we're on the air or not. And this is a big esports tournament on Game Plus television right now across all 10 provinces and 31 states. That's why we're digital only today. And it's actually boosted our numbers and made our sponsors very happy. I see this. Jadeveon Clowney has signed with the Browns, which is actually, I said, I watch ESPN every morning. Aside from draft talk, when they talk about great Super Bowl contenders in 2021, the Browns are right up there.
Oh, yeah.
They're right up. That's very exciting.
Yes.
Here's all the Winnipeg people. Winnipeg shows up from T-Bone Stuff on YouTube. Go, Jets, go. Got my Winnipeg ice lid out right here. But don't get me sidetracked. The poll question today is for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center. Who should be inducted into next year's Canadian Football Hall of Fame? We had the big announcement yesterday. I think it was 7 guys.
Yeah.
Your options, Kent Austin, Dwayne Mandruziak, Jim Pop, or Joe Zuger. And yesterday I had occasion to chat with the recently retired executive director of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, Mark DeNoble, or as you've heard me on the phone with him when I say, is Mark DeNoble there?
It's so funny.
Never gets old. We're talking about Joe Zuger. Like, Joe Zuger played with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He holds a record. He threw 8 touchdowns in a game. And I believe Mark said that was his first game. Didn't just hold the record, but he did it in his first game. I believe Mark said. So nobody knows who Joe Zuger is. And what's that, 8% voting for him? Who are they 8%?
Yeah, exactly.
Leo. The thing with Ken Austin is, as far as I believe Kent's been nominated. I'm not sure. Mark told me yesterday who's all across the voting committee for the Hall of Wally Buono's on it out in BC. Vicky Hall in Alberta. Daryl Davis here. Mike O'Shea, Bob Irving in Winnipeg. Anyways, Dwayne Mandruziak, the 49-year equipment manager of the Edmonton Eskimos, who was unceremoniously dumped by the football team. Let's not forget some of the shady dealings that have gone on over the last 6 months, okay? Let's not just sweep that under the rug. We got to get this trending in Edmonton for D-Rock-esques. Because Ken Austin's leading by a mile on Twitter and Facebook. So that's the poll question there. Yeah. I do have a Ben Gorniak. Oh, shoot. It just heard it. Ben Gorniak's watching. He says, Dwayne, in a class all his own, as so many Albertan youth football players can attest to, the man cares the most. So many football camps that he had a part in. Give that man a bust. Well, he's going in the Hall of Fame. The question is when. But I don't think, just extinguish guys like that. But they do.
Yeah.
But they do.
I know.
So to the CFL Global Draft, which is tomorrow, Richie Leone wrote in, punter of Ottawa, and he said, how are you preparing for the draft? I actually wasn't.
Yeah.
Did you just burp?
What's that?
Yes, you did. Can we roll that back?
Was in my chest.
How about
He
that?
just burped. How about that?
You got to roll it back.
Write that down, Nelson. DuPont just burped in the mic. Who are you, Howard Stern?
It's my show.
Gets a brand. He thinks he can do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
What's next? You going to fart?
No. Well, as long as it works.
Where were we? Armando Moreno. You didn't even turn red. You're not even embarrassed by this.
No.
It's a bodily function.
It's natural.
Right. It's a natural bodily function. Wayne in Victoria says, by the way, Dupes, I'm not volunteering to be branded.
Although Roxanne's deck is. She wants her deck branded.
On the wood?
Yeah.
Got it. Richie's got a few comments here. Rod, let me think of the last time the University of Houston lost to Rice. I need to get you Houston gear if they ever let me back in the country. Richie, don't come after me because I'm a Rice fan. This was hand-delivered to our hotel in Houston back in the prior prehistoric time when we could travel. Hand-delivered by Rice University.
By the coach.
By the receivers coach, Mike Kershaw. So you want to do that? I'll wear your stuff. I don't know where else he's saying here. Craig Campbell from the Hockey Hall of Fame. One cheek sneak next. You can drop your pants. They're saying, why not? We're not on national television for the rest of the week. We can do whatever we want.
Let it roll.
We could drop F-bombs if we wanted to. Tame Welker has joined us for the first time in months and has fired 175 questions at us. Did Darren do something different to his hair? Listen, Tame, while we do have back and forth with our viewers, we don't exist for you to have a one-on-one. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Armando Moreno is watching in Mexico City, and he says, globals are people too. Right?
Mm-hmm. Put that on
I'm not interested in the global draft. I'll follow it, but I'm not hitting the refresh. I'm not interested in the damn NHL draft for the most part. I'm not a draft guy. So there's nothing against globals, nothing against the CFL. I just said it yesterday with Nick Lewis. I'm a Hall of Fame guy. That's the discussion that really gets me excited. I understand there's draft geeks and draft nerds, and there's friggin' manuals that thick on it. Doesn't interest me.
Well, it comes down to how well can you relate it to the audience. And so can we find a list of what prospects are eligible, who might be in the top 10? But
3 downs ranked them all.
And can we make that relatable, though? You know, have we watched them? Can we tell you, do we have stats for them? How much information can we give to make you excited that your player draft, your team got this certain guy? It's tough. There's not a lot of information. There's not a lot of film. We haven't been watching. But hopefully it grows to a point where that becomes the case.
Winnipeg just dying to talk about the Jets. They're playing at Ottawa tonight. Daniel Perdon, watching on Facebook, says Ville Heinola might see Jets action before the playoffs, but doubtful Muyres plays him unless injuries. Winnipeg Jets with one trade with Jordy Ben, although the insiders wish they'd done a little more for their blue line. They have their fan base excited and rejuvenated here for a Stanley Cup run. Before we break, I don't know who brought these in, but I thank them. Clark, if you want them, you can have them. I was asking with Jackie Redmond from NHL Network. She brought up the Cheetos. Somebody brought up the Cheetos.
Yeah, she did.
Jalapeno crunchy Cheetos. Maybe we'll have a party here after the show and we'll all share them.
There you
Who
go.
brought them in?
I did.
Thank you.
I saw them on the shelf. I'm like, I got to buy them.
Hard to believe that they're from Dollarama.
I know.
They're made for Dollarama. That $2, that's not a sticker. That's on the bag.
Wow.
Cheap and practical. We'll be back with a sports update and more. Next hour, Kirk Muyres from the Calgary Curling Bubble. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Capital GMC is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Every certified vehicle includes the balance of manufacturer's warranty, 150-plus point inspection, roadside assistance, and certified exchange privilege. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital GMC is your used car destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of lemon and Saskatoon berry with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. So in the time we have left, I'm going to tell the Jets fans, I know that we're huge in Winnipeg. Just take your comments about the Jets and Sens into the comment section, and you guys talk about the game over there. Pat McAfee's just gone off. I guess I was alerted to this by our content creator, Nelson in Saskatoon, who said that McAfee's gone off. And the crux of what he said was that feeder leagues, minor leagues, the Alliance, XFL don't work. They're a waste of time. That's the summation I got.
Yeah, they already have that in college football, right?
Yeah.
They already have it.
It was
in
the
college
guest?
football. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Channing Crowder said it. Sorry. It was just alerted to us that McAfee's saying this. I got to watch it in the next break, and we'll give our thoughts on this. I don't believe that college football is a feeder system to the National Football League. Who says that? Because every single coach that I talk to realizes reps in pro ball mean something, whether it's the Arena League, whether it's the Canadian Football League, NFL Europe. Every live rep in pro ball between college and the NCAA means tons. College is not a farm system for the NFL. And if you think that, you don't know anything about the game of football. What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a feeder system for the NFL?
Well, I mean, it is for high-end guys. For high-end guys,
Yes.
It absolutely is, right? They can go right out of college into the NFL, but how many guys struggle because they can't make that jump? And so you're right, reps in pro football absolutely matter. So while I think it won't be a feeder system for Tier 1 players in the NFL, maybe for Tier 2, Tier 3, you got to go somewhere else and play and get those reps in pro football, or at least that's what special teams are typically for. You know, you get into preseason, but yeah, reps in pro football absolutely matter. It's a different game.
I got to read a sports update. Canadian Brooke Henderson is in Hawaii looking to become a three-peat winner at the Lot Championship. Brooke won the LPGA Tour event in 2018 and again in 2019 before last year's was halted due to the pandemic. The Canadians are 6 points up on the Flames for the final playoff spot, and the two will meet tonight in Montreal. Both teams coming off victories over the Leafs. Calgary 3-2 in overtime last night. The Habs have 3 games in hand on the Calgary Flames. Sends forward Connor Brown will try and extend his franchise record goal streak when Ottawa hosts the Winnipeg Jets. Brown has scored a goal in 8 straight. Only Jaromir Jagr with 9 games and Teemu Selanne with 11 have had longer goal streaks in the last 25 years. Do you know that Jaromir Jagr, if you rearrange the letters, spells Mario Jr.? Think on that for a while.
I'm going to.
Blue Jays manager Charlie Montoyo announced last night outfielder Teoscar Hernandez tested positive for the Rona. He's been away from the team since last Thursday after having close contact with someone away from the team that tested positive. Yankees righty Corey Kluber and Toronto righty Ross Stripling are the scheduled starters in today's series finale after the Jays took last night's game 7-3. And that is first pitch in about 12 minutes. Blue Jays going to clinch another series, or trying to clinch another series against the Pinstripes. The Raptors have a quick turnaround following last night's 107-103 loss to the Atlanta Hawks. They host the San Antonio Spurs in Tampa Bay tonight in one of 12 games. Toronto was without guards Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry last night. And Toronto FC goes into tonight's rematch with Mexico's Club Leon, boosted by its first round of COVID-19 vaccinations, but still feeling the effects of more injuries. That game goes tonight and is being played in Kissimmee, Florida. My God, am I jealous of them. Kissimmee's a beautiful little suburb of Orlando. This sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. I said to Darren, listen to my first sports update. Toronto FC, Raptors, Blue Jays, Leafs. What am I missing? Oh, Argos. Oh, wait. What are we, TSN 1050? But I'm just saying, you can get sucked into the vortex of the GTA MLSE thing. And for the most part, we try not to do that. What time do you guys need me out here this hour? Anytime, let me guess. Anytime. Okay. Clark says 30 seconds. So next hour, we'll talk with Kirk Muyres from Team Dunstone out of the Calgary Curling Hub. We'll get into a little more, what the hell? CFL Global Draft tomorrow. Why not?
Yeah.
How about that? And whatever you want to talk about, that's next. Coming up after this break, you're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live. And listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
TSN 1050 Toronto is celebrating its 10-year anniversary today.
How about that?
They're the home of the Argos. But you wouldn't know it. Austin Matthews, Kyle Lowry, Vladdy, some soccer player I've never seen or heard of. And then Tom Brady, Tampa Tom. What the hell? Come on, TSN 1050 Toronto. What does this say?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Rocking and rolling into hour two. This is what we affectionately call the second half kickoff, and holy smokes, have we got a lot going. What's going on, Moose?
Oh, yeah. Just,
you want to hold up the brand again for our new viewers that have just tuned in? Look at that.
Got it.
I can't believe how you should weigh that thing.
I know it is. It's got some weight to it, but that makes sure that you get a good sear when you use
the DuPont Media brand. You should do steaks with that.
I was thinking about it. Get a mini one or
no, use that one.
Big steaks.
We're rolling, and I'm not going to delve back into the quick six show topics here because so many things have come up. Let me just say that we've hit a watershed moment today, and I was telling the guys this in the break. We're not on Game Plus television because we're preempted for the rest of the week because of an esports tournament. It actually happens in television programming. And the amount of hate mail that we're getting is kind of off the charts. I said, guys, we've made it. People across the country are wondering, why are you not on my television right now?
That's right.
This could have happened a year ago because, well, we went on live on July 2nd, right, on Game Plus?
Yeah.
And nobody would have probably noticed as far as it relates to us. So I said to Clark, let's encourage everybody in the GTA to go down and start a fire at the building of Game Plus. And Clark goes, good idea. Then we'll never be on Game Plus again. Oh, wait, let's not do that. See how we make all our decisions by committee around here?
Yeah.
I encouraged rioting out front of Game Plus, and Clark's probably not the best idea.
But we have an open and inclusive environment that, hey, put all the ideas on the table.
Oh, yeah, bring them all up.
And then we'll start to figure out why they are good or not good.
This is a day where I was overruled. Hey, Drew Koser, Off the Hosel podcast. Good morning. I dropped my pen. Let's just hit the quick six show topics. Let's re-up it and then delve right back into the fun. Tuesday NHL leftovers, I got a few here. The Bruins beat Buffalo in the first Hall versus the Sabres debut. Taylor was pointless, but his team won. David Riddick lost his Leafs debut against the Flames. Can't you find him blue equipment? I just thought that looked very junior B. No offense, Drew. You know what I'm talking about. Point 3, Tanner Jeannot scored his first career National Hockey League goal. What do you know? Tanner Jeannot from Oxbow Sask. Why'd you ask? Way to go, Tanner, with the Nashville Predators. They might crack the top 5 NHL this week.
They might.
Point 2, will the CFL play? I pegged it at 50-50. Insiders that have no dog in the fight, but no. So let's just remember there's a lot of people outside the CFL right now. Let's remember a lot of people got let go. A lot. But they still know a lot of stuff. And they might be a little upset. So they're pegging this at 60-40 that the CFL doesn't play. I'm saying 50-50. What are you saying?
Yeah, I got to be close to that. It's leaning towards 60-40 for me that they won't play.
Yeah.
But I think there's still, at 40%, there's still a good chance they will, but it won't be on time.
Point 3, the Regina Pats, God's team, lost last night to the Prince Albert Raiders 4-2. We called it. They're 0-2 without Connor Bedard. And on Thursday, they'll face the number 1 team, the Saskatoon Blades. You going to wear a Blades jersey into the booth? You're thinking about it.
Thinking about it.
In the Dub Hub today, it's the Blades and the Swift Current Broncos at 4 p.m., 8 p.m. tonight, the Winnipeg Heist against the Brandon Wheat Kings in the Battle of Manitoba. That ice lid may stay here till the end of time.
It's beautiful.
It's so hot, but I think I'll take it home because I like wearing it a lot. 4, the Blue Jays beat the Yankees 7-3, and Sammy Cosentino was with us last hour. You people don't know. You people don't know that Sam Cosentino's a baseball guy first. Do you even know that story? He was the towel boy in the damn clubhouse for the Blue Jays in 1987.
Wow.
Worked his way into the broadcast booth, and then somehow how life just grabs you and takes you down a road that you didn't plan. That's Sam, now doing CHL hockey, which he loves, but he's still a baseball guy at heart. He was the voice of the Expos, as Clark has said in my ear, yes, for their last couple of seasons. That's when Sammy and I worked together on The Score, and that's where we got to be good friends. But anyways, he agrees with me that if George Springer could play, and I'm not calling him soft. Am I calling him soft by not calling him soft?
No, not really, but you're kind of.
150 million, quad pull? How many guys in the NHL are playing tonight with some sort of mild pull? Whatever. The Blue Jays are 5-6 and in a 4-way tie for second place in the East. You know what? If he comes back later and he's 100%, that's probably a better thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the Jays are right there. That's exciting to me.
Yeah.
And by the way, he took batting practice yesterday, but he will not go out on this 9-game road trip, which the Jays are leaving after today's game against the Yankees. Point 5, people boycotting the MLSE. Saying they're going to boycott the MLSE. What a fun. That's so cute.
I know.
Let's boycott Rogers. That was going for a while because they hate the CFL. How did that work? Nobody at Rogers cares if you boycott them. They don't.
And I know the grocery store thing came up, but here's the more accurate analogy. You're not going to boycott Rogers. You're going to buy whichever cable package is cheaper. You're going to buy whichever phone package is cheaper.
There is no doubt about that.
If they're the same price, you maybe will make a decision, but you're still not going to do that till your contract's up, right? And when you're thinking about going to a Leafs game, a Raptors game, an Argos, you're not thinking about
Who owns
Wait,
it?
who owns this team?
No.
No, that guy owns it, so I'm not going to go. No, you're only thinking about the team, unfortunately.
The boycott's just not going to work. It sounds good.
Yeah.
We're going down this road. I think people like talking about sports media because it's such a huge impact in our lives. They'd rather talk about the games, but there aren't a lot of games going on right now in terms of the CFL and NFL, right? But the mindset, I meant to say this the other day. I didn't even realize this, folks, until I got my diploma in addiction treatment specialist. That's what it's called, addiction treatment specialist, the diploma that I have. Brain pathways. So you all, because you watch TSN and Sportsnet every day, are getting brainwashed about the Blue Jays and the Raptors and the Leafs and Toronto FC. You just are, because that's what's in front of you. Believe me, this is how it goes. And if the whole country gets on board with this, great for MLSE. That's what they want.
Yes.
And if you think this MLSE doesn't want to kill the CFL, because you would think, let's build up our properties on our networks. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
So of course.
Why would you ignore the Argos from your billboard for your radio station unless you're purposely trying to kill the CFL? Now, I had guys in the CFL yesterday say, Rod, do you think this was a shot, an FU at the CFL?
On purpose.
On purpose. I'm like, I wholeheartedly believe it was not an FU to the CFL. I wholeheartedly believe it was an oversight. But we just didn't think about the Argos, which is probably worse than doing it on purpose.
Yes.
You know, that's a mindset thing too. But I'm just saying, you can all get on board with the MLSE thing and TSN and Sport. That's cool. Nobody's stopping it. But I know there's a lot of people that want to talk about the Canadian Football League and Major Junior Hockey and Junior A and curling. Kirk Muyres coming up. That's all. But we're not shooting arrows at TSN and Sportsnet. I watch them every day. They're all my friends. I'm just saying we're going to do something different than get on board like everybody else is. Did I not just explain it well, what we're doing here?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, and people seem to like it. And point 6, NFL players want to boycott the OTAs. We'll wait and see how that all plays out. I'm also I'm at the end of my rope with listening to people. I think that's evident to everybody. But reason being, our Rockstar of the Day yesterday was Gary Lawless for our sponsor at Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. We love them. Give them a follow on all their social media channels. The poll question today is for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Who should be inducted into next year's Canadian Football Hall of Fame? Here are the options that we came up with. And it was these guys deferred to the old fart in the room, me, the old CFL guy. Ken Austin, Dwayne Mandruziak, the fired Edmonton equipment manager, Jim Popp, who needs no introduction, and Joe Zuger, who actually does. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he had 8 touchdowns thrown in his very first ever game in the CFL for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and that record still stands for all quarterbacks, 8 touchdowns in a game. Joe Zuger. Ken Austin's leading by a mile on Twitter. That should probably surprise nobody. Did they put up the Facebook list?
Yeah, he's leading by a mile on Facebook.
So Kent should get in. I'm not sure if Kent's been nominated or not. But anyways, when I say I don't listen to anybody, well, I listen to some, but not all. Marlene writes this on Twitter and said, should have included Darian ahead of these 4 guys. Ken Austin, who won 3 Grey Cups as a player and 1 as a head coach and was coach of the year in his not his only year, but his first year. Darian, I had a who? Here. Dwayne Mandruziak, 49 years as a builder. Most people would tell you he's ahead of all these guys. Jim Popp, 5 Grey Cups. 5? There aren't too many GMs that have more than that, and any that does are in the Hall of Fame. And then Joe Zuger, for the reasons I just should have had Darian. I might have, in my past life, been that person saying, should have had Darian.
1 Grey Cup?
Yeah.
Outstanding player?
Never.
No. So, that sense, who gets in? Darian Durant or Kerry Joseph? Right?
Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Because my mind went to the Riders Plaza of Honor for a second, and that's a different thing.
Could be that, but Darian, I mean, it was longer and the numbers, but Carey was the outstanding player in the league and won a Grey Cup.
Darian doesn't belong in the group, Marlene. John Volk watching, I can only assume from Winnipeg. He says, love the show, fellas. Glad you speak your mind on all topics, no matter what. Go Bombers and go Jets. Again, that's why we have our Winnipeg Ice thing hat up here. And I'll say this too. I don't think my wife believes me. I think I got to take the analytics home and show her how many people are watching in Winnipeg. And incidentally, she does the, ad buying for the Capital Ford right beside Polo Park Mall in Winnipeg. I'm like, this is important, Cindy. And I'm thinking, you know what? Alberta, they watch. They don't really engage and comment, but they're watching because we can see they're watching. I don't know what it is. Whereas with Winnipeg, this goes back to the MLSE thing. A guy in Winnipeg said this to me. We don't care in Winnipeg where you're from. If you're talking about something that we find entertaining, we're going to watch. We don't care where you're from. In Toronto, if you're not from Toronto, they won't watch you. Why would I give a rat's ass then about them?
Right.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Like Winnipeg, it's sweatpants, it's Slurpees, it's kick your shoes off, undo your belt. Let's talk real stuff here. Toronto, no. You have never been on Yonge Street, so no, we're not going to watch you.
How about
Piss
that?
off. Piss off. Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg. We love our sports in Depeg. From Hussey's Huddle, says Jim Pop, 100% deserving. They're all deserving. The question is, which one deserves the most? Jason Price says, same goes for BC and Quebec. I didn't want to say it. But it's so totally true. Quebec's a distinct society. They call themselves a distinct society. But you know what? British Columbia is a distinct society. We call ourselves the sweatpants capital, call them the plaid and toque capital. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Of course.
But they're just not like the rest of the country, and they're okay with that. But if you tell them they're not like the rest of the country, they're pissed off at you.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
So if we're a prairie show, it's totally fine with me because we got the million in Manitoba, we got the few million in Alberta. Let's go! It's not MLSE.
Exactly.
I didn't want to get on
this. I'm okay with that.
I didn't want to get on this. Brady in Saskatoon. Thank you, Brady. And by the way, congratulations on finishing your first year of post-secondary education. Who would have believed in a pandemic that this would happen? Brady in Saskatoon says, I don't believe the CFL will play unless they can find a way to play without fans. We will have strict COVID restrictions for possibly another year. Can of worms right there. Oh, come on, Nelson Hakowich, our VP of Sim Events. The Rider Nation needs to drop their love affair with Darian. Unpopular opinion, Chris Jones' assessment of Darian was not far from the truth. Moderately successful. Now I feel like I could go on forever, but we got to take a break. And the Kirk Muyres is ready from the bubble. He can jump in on all this. We're going inside the bubble, everybody. Let me just say this. My commentary on Cat Country today said, I'll put it on here, is I favor the hope for the best, brace for the worst, prepare for the worst. Don't we all?
Yeah.
And for the Canadian Football League, it's hope for the best and hope for the best. Bracing for the worst would be playing no matter what. No matter how COVID plays out, we're going to play because we got the bubble and we got the money to do it. They don't want to do that for whatever reason. And they're back into another Hail Mary. Sometimes the Hail Mary's completed. Some analytics guy want to go out and look up how often a Hail Mary is completed. That would be very interesting.
That would be helpful. Yeah.
How often is a Hail Mary completed? It's got to be on the internet somewhere. And if it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
If you find the number, you might be in contention for Rock Star of the Day.
That's why if you find it, you will get a Rock Star of the Day hat, because that will be the chances that the CFL has of playing in 2021, because it's a Hail Mary. All right, one of our best friends, and by the way, Kirk Muyres, he owned the Ram 1v1. Owned it. You know how I say I watch SportsCenter every day? He had it for like over a week.
Wow.
You don't watch SportsCenter as much as I do.
Not as much.
It was like the Kirk Muyres hour. He joins us next from Calgary. You're watching the RP Show, Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk. Live streaming at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Capital GMC is Truck Nation. Looking to buy your next truck or sell your current one? Capital is Canada's truck destination. Shop online or in-store to see the new 2021 GMC Sierra, Terrain, and Acadia. Right now is the best time to lease or finance a new vehicle. Can't find exactly what you're looking for? Let us help by sourcing your vehicle from our dealer network or custom ordering one that is perfect for you. Capital GMC is Truck Nation at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Just ahead of Kirk Muyres in the bubble, the curling bubble. From John in Edmonton on the Prairie Mobile text line, he says Eric Church is setting his sights on 6 Canadian cities this fall. It's the first concert tour announced in Canada since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, with the exception of drive-in shows. He said, if this can happen in the fall, I highly expect fans to be in the stands for the Western Hockey League. That's John of Edmonton. I will say Bruce Hamilton, the owner in Kelowna said they're delaying the Dubs start next season. DG in Saskatoon writes, morning, guys. Interesting note with the global CFL draft discussion. Yesterday, the Washington football team signed Chilean basketball star Samus Reyes to a contract, even though he's never played a snap of college football. This contract, however, does not fall under the NFL's International Player Pathway Program. Let's remember non-football players signed by pro football teams and how that ever worked out. Ben Johnson, Matt O'Donnell, well, he tried out in the NBA. I don't think it works out very often. From the 530, hey guys, any luck getting James Franklin on the show? Thanks, Dave in Regina. What's the answer to that, Clark? Nothing. He's not responding. We talked to his agent, too. Yeah, his agent, he's not responding to his agent either. From Jim Wagner, he says, good day, RP crew. Dupes, I'd put a brand sticker on my truck. Hold up the brand. He says, but I'll have to pass on getting it burned onto my flesh.
Yeah.
Stickers. Really cool. Really enjoying you guys calling the Pats games. Stay safe, all. And from Leonard, when I talked about the universe has corrected itself, and I'm back calling Regina Pats hockey on television. Leonard says, I was put on this earth to listen to a great man like you. Thank you, Leonard. That means a ton to me. All right. That's from the Prairie Mobile text line. Prairie Mobile, your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Let's go to Calgary now. Kirk Muyres. Kirk, I'm sorry. From Team Dunstone, by the way. Sorry to keep you waiting, but I'm like, I don't think he's doing anything. Would I be right?
Trust me. I got time, and who doesn't love listening to you rant, Rod?
Oh, you heard the rant. Oh, do you agree with any of it?
I'm a guy that likes to sit on the fence, so I'm gonna say nothing.
Well, hey, you are when you retire, you're going to be our curling analyst, so you got to get used to that. Hey, listen, man, I think everybody wants to know what's bubble life. You were there before, now you're back. And a little bit of a scare last week with the World Men's. How are things in the Calgary bubble right now as we get ready for the Grand Slam event?
Things are good. Everyone's in high spirits. Everyone's excited to play again. I think Friday night or whenever the scare was, everyone was kind of pumping the brakes a little bit and kind of worried that it would get canceled. And so now that it's kind of back on track, no one is sick. No one got sick. No one had COVID, all that stuff. The bubble didn't burst. Everyone's super excited in here to kind of get rolling again. And I think we're just so grateful for the powers to be, World Curling, Curling Canada, Alberta Health, and everyone for, first of all, making sure everyone stayed safe, and then kind of seeing it through and doing their due diligence to making sure that that we can continue to play. Because, it's so easy these days to just shut things down. But really, there was obviously no reason for it with no positive cases. But so we're just grateful for everyone that kind of kept seeing it through to make sure we got to the finish line here.
Okay, buddy. Now, something just dawned on me. I said people going out of the bubble and coming back in, but that's probably not the case. Your better half, Claire Hanna, told me that conceivably Kirk will be gone for 2 straight months. Have you been there the whole time?
No, I did leave for 2 weeks and came back, but it was in isolation at home. So it really, we've been bubbled up for a long time. And then we got back here on Saturday morning and started total isolation in our hotel rooms and then the testing. And so far, so good. Everyone's got through that has come back and that has stayed, has got through all the negative tests again. So today practice starts and, oh man, just so excited to get to go play again.
What time's your practice?
3:40 or something like that.
Oh, so you got some time here.
I can chat for a few hours.
Great. So if you were there on Saturday, you were around for all the chaos that went down with the World Men's. Like, it seemed chaotic watching from the outside, which ended up being false positives anyways, but they bumped all the playoff games back. What was that like?
They brought us into a different hotel, so we weren't bubbled up with that situation that could have been quite a COVID scare. So all the teams that came in were at a different hotel, but there was probably about 24, 48 hours where no one was really sure what was going on. And I know some people were a little put off by not having the communication from the powers to be. But honestly, at that moment, they're not really worried about letting everyone know what's going on at home. They're worried about keeping everyone safe in the bubble. So at that time, we were just kind of laying low, hanging tight, knowing that they were doing all they can. And like I said, it's most times curlers kind of take a poke at the powers to be, the federations, Canada and the world and those sort of things. But we're just really grateful for how hard they work and then how diligent they were in making sure everyone stayed safe, quite honestly. So I don't have anything bad to say about the federations today.
How could you? How could you? Because what they've pulled off here is nothing short of miraculous. And now 2 Grand Slam events to go, plus the World Women's, right? We had 3 to go, I think?
That's right. Yep, you nailed her.
Yeah. So listen, Kirk, I'm what you would call probably a casual fan, i.e. I'm not into all the round-robin games. Playoffs I am. But you saw what I was talking about with the Kirk Muyres Ram 1v1. And you're in your hotel room, so you're probably only watching SportsCenter. What was it like seeing your shot every day go up against the likes of all these huge sports superstars? And you kept winning.
Yeah, it was cool. They ended up retiring I think after 10 wins or something, they just take you off the air and say you're retired. But it was cool. And honestly, I got to give credit to Laura because she saw the shot. So when we were playing, I didn't even realize it was there. And then she's like, Kirk, you can play this round the horn and we can get lie to and likely win the game. And I said, well, sure. And I threw it, didn't think much of it, ended up making it. And then it kind of took on a life of its own after that. And then it was on round V1 and you're playing against these MLB players, these NHL players. And for a kid from St. Gregor, that was pretty neat. And it was kind of cool to be a part of it. And then I must give credit to the curling fans. They were voting like crazy. So the curling fans, family, friends, everyone back in Saskatchewan was voting like crazy to keep me on top of it. And lo and behold, they ended up winning 10 in a row, I think, which was really neat. So yeah, it was a cool experience. And I don't expect to get that sort of thing on Sports Center throughout my life much more. So I'm gonna enjoy it.
Well, you should. And I was so proud because I work out every morning and watch SportsCenter. And every morning I'm like, I know that guy. Every morning I'm like, I know that guy. But you said around the horn. What's the curling? Is that the technical term for what you did? Because it was like bink, 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 bink to get shot rock. What is the actual what you did?
I think it's an around the horn. So it comes, it goes through and then back up. And so if it comes back up, the average curling fan loves when the rocks come back up. And so that's why I think it got a kind of a life of its own. I think I was saying after the game, I think, curlers make shots like that every now and then, and it's just kind of part of the game, but it's not always on TV. It's not always captured on video. And the fact I was lucky enough to get it captured on video, it kind of, like I said, took on a life of its own. So it was kind of neat.
Well, the curling fans, there are literally millions of them. You know that. I know that. The ratings reflect that. And they're a little like CFL fans or Rider fans. When they have a chance to vote, they're going to vote. And good for them. So preview this Grand Slam field for me. You've been moved back a day. It was supposed to start today, right? You're starting tomorrow. Can you talk about this event?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's starting tomorrow, so it was supposed to start today, and then they're going to run it till Monday, where the finals are going to run on Monday, and then they're going to start the next slam Tuesday. So it's the same 12 teams on men's and women's. The top 12 teams in the world on the men's side, top 12 on the women's side are going to compete. And, I mean, the Grand Slams are what it's all about. I mean, it's truly the best curling in the world. It's the top 12 teams in the world. Doesn't matter what country, where you're from, you compete. So we got a lot of tough games ahead of us, but these are always the good ones. You kind of test your mettle against the best teams in the world. Do you have what it takes to beat the Gushus, the Kuis? Do you have what it takes to beat the Adines? Are you prepared to win that Olympic gold medal if you get the opportunities? And that's really kind of what the slams are all about. And so we're pumped to get going. Everyone's excited to get going. The TV should be great. It'll be on Sportsnet all week. Everybody, you'll be able to watch, I think, every draw on Sportsnet. So all the curling fans that haven't got their fix over the last month and a half will get another couple weeks. And then the other cool thing is in these events, we get to wear our sponsor gear. And so as we all know, it's the lifeblood to being able to do this at a high level. And so for us to be able to give back and get on national TV again for our partners and all the other teams here for their partners to get on national TV again after, this year off, it's huge. So all those things combined, everyone's just really pumped to get back at it.
Well, actually, I was just going to say that for our boy Braden Muskowy, your third, this has gone exactly the way he'd hoped in terms of the television exposure. The only thing you're missing would be a Brier championship. It's coming. But how hard was it to lose out Sunday afternoon in the Brier final, which we all watched? A hell of a game, by the way, right? Your skip said, we got nothing to hang our heads about here. We got beaten by a better shot. Doesn't make it any easier, though.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I think over the last few weeks, we've all kind of took time to reflect on it and kind of think about it a little bit. And that's just it. We played great all week. We beat some of the best teams in the world. and controlled when we beat them too. It wasn't that we got lucky to beat them. We controlled those games. So we showed that we can compete at that level, win at that level. And then, we ended up losing to the Brier champion on a huge last shot after controlling the game. That's curling. We're going to be on the other side of that just as many times as we're going to be on the wrong side of it. And just so happens that day we were on the wrong side of it. But it was a pretty dark few days. I mean, losing sucks. But at the same time, like Matty said in his post-game interview, we were grateful to be playing. I mean, with everything going on, we're just so happy to be able to play in a safe environment. But losing is something that rips your heart out.
Right, but you can lose by missing shots on your own. That hurts more. Right?
You are 100% right. If you play well and lose, it hurts. If you play bad and lose, that's something that sticks with you for years.
Forever.
Any athlete knows that.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, just so Botcher didn't make the final round at the Worlds, and there's that notion that the Brier is the thing, and the Worlds is not as prestigious as the Brier. Do you go along with that line of thinking?
Well, I mean, there's something about the Brier that is just so neat. Like, it's just such a Canadian thing. But those guys, what I watched most of the games at the Worlds, they played really well. As Canadians, we have to realize the world is getting so good. They have super funded teams that do it for a living. Us curlers in Canada are still doing because we love it. Plus, it's like a side gig. Plus, we all have our full-time jobs and families. The world is getting really good, and the average fan doesn't see that. They just watch the Worlds and they expect Canada to win like we've done for the last 35 years. But we need to keep up with the world teams, and there's lots of discussion on how that's going to happen. I don't know if anyone has necessarily the right answer, but they played really well. And it's just sometimes, like I said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose at this game because everyone plays 90%. It's not like Botcher went there and didn't play good. That team played really well, and the world teams are just getting really good, and you may play really good and not win, and that's the unfortunate part, and we got to figure that out in the next few years here.
Well, good luck with it. Good luck this weekend. Obviously, we're following closely. Kirk, thanks for your time today. I'll say the obvious. Stay safe, and good luck. We're all watching.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me on, Rod. Good seeing you, man.
As always, thank you. Kirk Muyres joining us from Team Dunstone, and our curling report is brought to you by Verge Agriculture, helping farmers plan and optimize their operations across every field. Try Verge's precision farm tech software for free today at vergeag.com. They are Calgary-based, and we love them. Okay, one thing. I'm going to read a sports update and then bring DuPont in. I don't know. You guys are going to have to say who won the contest. I think we have a double winner for finding out first the percentage of Hail Marys being completed. Nelson, who is watching in Saskatoon, our content creator, I said the CFL chance of playing this year has come down to a Hail Mary. So if you can find out what the percentage of a Hail Mary being completed is what the CFL's chance is to play this year. And we've had various things sent in here, but according to ESPN, Hail Marys have succeeded roughly once in every 12 attempts over the past decade, boosted by unique protection schemes, enhanced quarterback fundamentals, and counterintuitive defensive techniques. But they're saying, what do they say? 8.9%? Nelson Hackowicz writes, the other Nelson says 8.33%. And Jason in Red Deer from the Puck and Pigskin podcast says the exact same thing as Nelson. They found the same thing, 8.3%. So I think we're sending out two hats. So thank you for answering that. 8 to 9% chance of the CFL playing because this is a Hail Mary. I feel from everything that I read that that's what it is. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, hey, did Rod just use Calgary and love in the same sentence? Jeff, I love Calgary. It's a world-class city. Nobody's arguing that. I'm willing to come to the table. I'm willing to meet Bo Levi in Medicine Hat, shake hands and bury the hatchet. But I don't see anything coming the other way. It's a Calgary thing, not mine. We'll be back with a sports update. Moose DuPont will join us too. And overtime. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports talk For Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com. Listen live.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Capital GMC is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Every certified vehicle includes the balance of manufacturer's warranty, 150 plus point inspection, roadside assistance, and certified exchange privilege. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital GMC is your used car destination at the corner of Rochdale and Pasqua in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. It's really going to get fun now. I just watched the Channing Crowder clip on Pat McAfee this morning, and I do have thoughts. You're going to want to stay tuned for those. Hi, Moose. Ooh. And you were listening to it in the other side of the rooms.
And I have thoughts.
Did you hear enough of it?
Oh, yeah.
But a sports update first. Can we play this music more? Clark said no.
Pretty good.
This is my favorite music of the Rod Pedersen Show. It reminds me of the early days when we started 463 shows ago. Didn't we use that music every break?
No. We only had one, so we just...
Clark says no, so that's the way it is. It was our intro song, yeah. Sports update. 2 teams coming off wins over the first place Toronto Maple Leafs square off tonight in Montreal. The Canadiens host the Calgary Flames in a game between 2 teams fighting for the 4th and final playoff spot in the North Division. The Habs are 6 points up on the Flames for 4th. Saturday night when the Flames were beating the Oilers 5-0, I tweeted, "Are the Flames pulling a Hulk Hogan?" I was trying to find a gif of Hulk with his leg up on the rope.
Yes.
I couldn't find that one.
That was dramatic.
Yeah, but I found the gif of him flipping the guy off when he almost, and then people are like, no. It's over for the Flames. The Ottawa Senators and Winnipeg Jets wrap up a 2-game series tonight in the nation's capital. The Sens won the opener 4-2 on Monday. Winnipeg is 7 points behind first place Toronto in the North Division. Ottawa is 7th in the Dub Hub. Logan Linklater had a goal and an assist as part of a 4-goal second period, and Max Paddock made 16 saves as Prince Albert built up a 4-0 lead and cruised to a 4-2 win over the Pats. Pats 0-2 without Connor Bedard. Regina returns to action Thursday at 4 p.m. against the Saskatoon Blades on Access Now TV. Ty Thorpe popped in 2 of Brandon's 4 first-period goals. Nolan Ritchie had a goal and 2 assists, and Braden Schneider tacked on 3 helpers as the Wheat Kings topped Moose Jaw 8-3. Tonight, when Brandon plays Winnipeg in the Battle of Manitoba, it is Braden Schneider's 200th WHL game. It's a lot of hockey.
That is.
Eli Zumac set up 3 goals before scoring the eventual winner while shorthanded in the third period, and the Spokane Chiefs came from behind to beat the Everett Silvertips 4-3. Dustin Wolf stopped 24 of 28 shots for the Tips. Nico Mijatovic struck twice, and Kelty Jerry Leone scored the winner on the power play in the second period as Seattle doubled up the Tri-City Americans 4-2. Raptors continue a 5-game homestand in Tampa tonight against the Spurs. Toronto lost the opener of the home stretch against the Atlanta Hawks last night. Rubber match of the Blue Jays and Yankees series is going on right now in Dunedin, Florida. Ross Stripling going for the Jays, Corey Kluber for the Yankees. The update is 1-0 Yankees bottom second. And Toronto FC wraps up its CONCACAF Champions League round of 16 tie tonight against Mexico's Club Leon in Florida. The teams tied 1-1 last week in Mexico. It's another reason I can't get on board with soccer. What's with the ties? Toronto's MLS season opener is Saturday against Montreal. So I am really trying to get into it. I am. I got a long ways to go to understand it, though.
I know. The real ins and outs.
But just give us some credit for trying. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis. Because NASCAR to me is more exciting. We've made that clear, haven't we?
Yes.
NASCAR to me is more exciting than soccer. So, dubnetwork.ca, the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, which we'll be serving as my lunch today, dupes. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. In response to Channing Crowder's clip on the Pat McAfee Show this morning that there should be no minor pro developmental leagues in pro football. This from a former Miami Dolphins linebacker, now retired, Channing Crowder, on Pat McAfee. And he was saying to Pat, name me anybody that came from the XFL and the Alliance. There's not many. But as McAfee and his guy Gump pointed out, Tommy Maddox is one. Who cares how many there are? Now, P.J. Walker, the MVP of the XFL last year, signing with the Carolina Panthers. He's with the Panthers now. So what? Because you could go straight from college to the NFL, screw everybody else? How selfish and prickish of a comment is that? How about all the coaches that work in these developmental leagues, the thousands of players, the $3,500 a year that come out of NCAA that maybe won't go to the NFL but can play somewhere else? What a jerk thing to say. What about single A, double A, triple A baseball for development? What about American Hockey League, East Coast Hockey League? We talked about Lane Peterson the other night scoring for the Arizona Coyotes in his first game in the NHL after 170 games in the American Hockey League because he was developed. Not everybody can go directly from major junior college to the major leagues. What the hell? And why should we listen to you just because you feel that way? Step out of your own damn self and think about all your friends that played in those leagues. I can't believe how selfish that is of Channing Crowder to say that. And secondly, Fan Control Football League, I loved it. I was watching it every Saturday night. I said Arena Football League meets WWE. I don't know who these guys are. Yeah, I was watching because of Johnny Manziel and Josh Gordon. Sure. Marshawn Lynch. That's not the point. The guys on the field deserve my respect because they put the pads on and went out there and knocked heads and, in a way, prolonged their career. It was a chance to get to the National Football League. It doesn't matter who the stars are. It's about entertainment, prolonging careers. I'm shocked that Channing Crowder would say that. You? You better agree, man. I'm fired up on this.
I do agree. I don't think, I understand why Channing Crowder would say that, and the leagues have failed, and they haven't produced meaningful players into the leagues. But they haven't been fully embraced as developmental leagues either. Like, the NFL's not sending their young players to these leagues. They're keeping them on their practice rosters. So it hasn't been developed or created as a developmental league. You have to put that in place. The NFL needs to have some interest, some vested financial interest, and they actually have to embrace it as a financial league. But absolutely, we need more places for professionals to play, because it is so difficult to go from playing university football, playing college football, NCAA, to the pros. We know the high-end guys can do it, but how many guys go in, you get one opportunity, it doesn't go well, and you're done. You don't get a chance to go and develop. So absolutely, the developmental leagues play a massive factor, and they can. If you take it seriously, treat it as a developmental league, you have buy-in from the big leagues, it can work. And, saying it's not good enough and nobody's going to be interested in because the football's not good enough, that has nothing to do with why people consume what they consume. It's about entertainment. So if you provide entertaining football that can attract attention, people will watch. It doesn't have to be the best product on the field for people to want to watch it. So, yeah, I think it's short-sighted, the comments. I really do.
Armando Moreno in Mexico City says, and actually that comment included the CFL since it is also an alternative league. What a short-sighted view. Chad Isaac says, Caleb Hawley came from the Sioux Falls Storm to the Riders, same as Corey Williams, arena football. Ryan McCarthy, watching in Saratoga, New York, says, once upon a time, NFL Europe was considered a developmental league. Oh, yeah, but we can't have that. No, we can't have the CFL considered as a farm league. We can't have that. I'm obviously not a soccer guy. I've made that very clear in the last 12 minutes. But is MLS not a 4th or 5th ranked soccer league in the world, on the planet? And they seem to be doing fine with 30 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, Channing Crowder should be ashamed of himself. And I say this, Darren and I just had this meeting this morning. The concept of empathy is not feeling sorry for somebody else. Empathy is not sympathy. Empathy is being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, being able to step outside of yourself to feel what somebody else is feeling, not feeling sorry for those people that didn't make the NFL. Channing Crowder only cares about himself. And that's what pisses me off. In this whole pandemic, people only think about themselves. I put on Twitter from my recovery account, what have you learned in this pandemic? The responses were, I learned I could cook. I learned that I could change the oil in my car. I learned this about myself. I'm like, did anybody want to look outside themselves of what they've learned about society, people's mindsets, how we're all in it for ourselves, that we're not actually in this together? Nobody thinks outside their own head. Channing Crowder, 101 on that. He should not be listened to. We'll be right back with Overtime, everybody. It's the RP Show, Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. We're overstocked and priced to move, so shop online or in-store to get the best deal on any one of our massive selection of pre-owned vehicles. Every pre-owned vehicle at Capital Ford must pass a thorough inspection, ensuring that your buying experience is quick, easy, worry-free, and just like new. So save the depreciation and buy pre-owned. Capital Ford Lincoln is your used car destination. 1201 Pasqua Street North in Regina.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
If you could spend less time in the field, more time with your family, and make more money at the same time, would you do it? Verge's farm operations planning technology eliminates unnecessary turns, improves in-field communication, application accuracy, and reduces deadheading. Finish fields faster, burn less fuel, and use fewer inputs, all in one simple-to-use, web-based solution. Do more of what you want, when you want, with the people you love by subscribing to Launchpad by Verge today.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And Moose DuPont. And we're really on to something here, in a way. Wayne in Victoria says, I can't believe how often I agree with you, Rod. I think you could be a brother from another mother. I rarely disagree with you. Thank you, Wayne. No, it's because you're from the rectangle here, and I favor old school thinking. My brother says that all the time. He's like, people just aren't prepared to hear that anymore. We've moved so far away from what's presumably right, and people are only out for themselves in this society, and I'm not moving off the way my parents raised me to be. And on that MLS thing, man, at what point, Darren, do we crack the rock, pardon the pun, and just talk about CFL, XFL every day for 2 hours?
I know, right?
Because I feel like I'm really close to doing that. And secondly, I put in my column on Sunday that the U.S. presidential election in 2024 is going to come down to The Rock and South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, right? Are you following this? And I said, guess who you think I'll vote for? And everybody said The Rock, because I'm a huge fan of The Rock. No. I'm voting for the rodeo queen. And if you go and watch my video from Labor Day weekend about how I think we should be handling the pandemic, it's her damn platform in South Dakota. And I just came off that at the top of my head. That's just how I feel. Go Google Kristi Noem, and you'll see that my thought patterns go quite similarly to hers. Doesn't mean I can't love The Rock.
Of course.
Armando Moreno says, Mexican catcher Alejandro Kirk just homered to give the Blue Jays a 2-1 lead. As Jerry Howarth would say, and the Blue Jays are in flight, Tom. Right?
Oh, yeah.
From the Puck and Pigskin podcast. Great show as always, guys. Best sports show around. Thank you. And I'm getting off track again. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, I missed what Crowder said. I'll have to go find it. Yes, you do have to go find it. Go search Pat McAfee's Twitter feed and you'll see it. He's ranting and raving why there's developmental leagues, semi-pro leagues aren't needed. It's disgusting, frankly. And Crown Gridiron Nation on TSN, I can only assume, would that be Jim Mullen or would it be Gord Randall?
Or somebody.
One of them's watching on YouTube and says MLS typically ranks as low as 24th or as high as 15th on the global soccer rankings. The whole point on that is who the hell is anybody to say that MLS is the greatest soccer league in the world? But the soccer fans watch it because they're soccer people. Football. Who's to say that the Continental Football League or the Canadian Football League is so far down below anybody else? Randy Ambrosi says we're the number 2 football league in the world, but a lot of the fans of the league will say we're the number 1 football league in the world because we're more entertaining, we're more this, we're more that. God knows we've heard enough of that over the last month. Right?
And other fans will say there are only 2 football leagues. Or, I mean, I know there's more, but.
So the global draft is tomorrow, and I guess, listen, Richie Leone wrote in earlier from Ottawa, and he was sort of tongue-in-cheek saying, Rod, how are you preparing for the draft? I'm not. I'm going to be hosting this show tomorrow. I'm going to be... Okay, I got 2 more minutes left in this show today. I have the recovery hour tonight. I'm doing an interview with Fox Radio at 1. I have to call a guy in Vegas right after that. That's today. Starting to see how I live my life one day. Tomorrow, I'll get ready for this show, do this show, go do a Pats game. My focus is not the CFL and the global draft anymore. Are we making that clear?
I think so. And then one day at a time, I mean. And then what happens is you wake up, like happens every day. Today's another great example. You got 4 other fires to put out and 3 other things going on, and 6 new phone calls show up before you get on the air. And
it's the only way you can do it.
Yeah, deal with every day.
I laid down at bed last night after the Pats game. I got home and started thinking and worrying about like Thursday. And I'm like, it's Tuesday. Stop. And I did. Because I trained my mind to do that. But if you want to know in the past why I drank so much, that's it. And everybody's cramming crap into your brain. Back off. That's what I'm doing now. Turn my phone off. From Donald Mitchell in the Middle East. Hey, Rod, keep doing what you're doing. On this show, you get real comments from the athletes. Unlike the corporate speak that's on the Toronto-based sports shows. Honestly, I've watched a panel from Sportsnet or TSN. Haven't watched a panel from Sportsnet or TSN in years, so it's vanilla. Well, I'll just say this about my boys, because they're all come on this show, Dreger, Naylor, Farhan, Arash. It's corporate speak, but they're not lying. Like, Dreger and I was saying to somebody the other day how far Dreger and I go back. 1993, voice of the Wheat Kings. When Dreger's on the air, I'm lapping it up, and here's why. He is the conduit from the National Hockey League head office in Toronto, Gary Bettman. It's going to Dreger and out to us. What's wrong with that?
I know.
There's nothing not noble about that. That's how much I believe in Darren Dreger. So that's what those guys do. Now, it is a manicured message to what the NHL wants you to hear. There's no 2 ways about that. But where does the NHL screw up? Save from Tim Peel. They've played. They've been on the ice. They've got the huge national TV deals. It's the other leagues that are struggling that they don't have that credibility. Sorry. Last word is yours. I think I've said enough today.
That's great. Can't wait to do it again tomorrow.
That's it? That's all you got?
That's it.
Brian Munns and Matthew Barnaby tomorrow. Great show today, Clark. Thanks to Sammy Cosentino and Kirk Muyres. No Game Plus tomorrow. We'll see you here. I'm not this renegade rogue tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist. I'm just telling you what's actually going on.
How about that?